David Boyle and I'm quitting alcohol. Remember a couple of months back at the start of the COVID-19 bullshit and the celebrities came together to help us out and sang Imagine. Imagine. Oh. Remember that? Remember that being the cringiest fucking thing you've ever seen in your entire life? And thinking to yourself, these fucking celebrities are just in their own fucking world, aren't they? Well, I saw something today that made me miss the celebrities singing fucking Imagine. There's some footage going around the internet. You've probably seen it. Everyone sees the same shit. But there's some footage of about 1,000 white people in a park for a renounce your white privilege ceremony. I'll repeat that again. A ceremony renouncing your white privilege. Is that the most fucking insane thing you've ever heard in your entire life? What the fuck does that even mean? White people are the worst. Like the fucking worst. Is there anything that shows off your privilege any more than gathering at a park to renounce your privilege? What the fuck is that? Is it just a sly way to be able to say the N-word? I think it might be. I think everyone's like, yeah, I renounce my white privilege. I promise to look after black people. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Am I good to say the N-word now? That's what this was for, wasn't it? Like, I've got no privilege anymore. I renounced it. I wonder if they got certificates. I wonder if they got certificates saying they're officially black now. Once you renounce your white privilege, you officially become one of the oppressed. And that's what happens. But it actually goes in levels. So by renouncing their white privilege today, they became Indian IT specialists. And if they continue to work really, really hard at renouncing their white privilege, they'll eventually become a Vietnamese refugee. And then after that, they'll become Mexican. And finally, after years and years of trying, they'll become black. And at the graduation ceremony, you get a gold grill for your teeth, you get a bandana, and instead of throwing your hat up in the air like you do when you graduate from college, you just get to scream the N-word at the top of your lungs. Fucking hell, white people are so fucking stupid in all directions. If I was running Black Lives Matter at the moment, this is what I'd do. I would keep up the internet pressure. I would stay on Twitter and I'd stay on Facebook and Instagram and keep hammering that. But then I would send a message to every black person, keep it hush hush, say pull out from the streets, don't go protesting anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to let white people fight this one out. Because whites are the same as any other race. No one hates their own race more than their own race. The far-right racists will be more than happy just to kill white Antifa, fucking renounce your white privilege ceremony people. They'll be happy. And those people, all they want to do is kill white racists. So just let them take each other out. Honestly, just let that whole fucking thing wipe each other out. And then you'll just be left with the fucking normals. I saw this advertisement for white privilege back in the day, and this is what it was. It was there to show you the head start white people get. So there was like 8 white people, 8 black dudes, and it was a running race, 100 meters or whatever. And the white dudes were starting like 50 meters, 30 meters ahead, massive head starts on the black dudes. And then they pulled the gun and the race started and the white kids are trying to run. It's a running race and the black kids are almost catching them even though they're 50, 60 meters behind. I'm like, that's not a good example. A running race is not a good example. A white guy hasn't won the 100-meter sprint since fucking Greece when they were putting leaves on your head if you won. And I remember that ad and I'm like, I tell you what would have been unfair if you had the white guys starting at the same place as the black guys, because they'd have no chance. You don't want those types of white people on your side anyway. Those types of white people are the people who will just stay at home when the shit hits the fan and just go, well, I was at the Renounce Your White Privilege ceremony, so what more can I do? It looks scary outside. And there's a whole bunch of protests organised for Friday in Australia, in every state. And the government came out and said no one will be fined for attending the protests. So there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people gathered together. Government's okayed it, but they still haven't lifted the restrictions. And not only that, the same people who shat on everyone during COVID who was like, do we really need these lockdowns? Like, it's going to destroy the economy. We're all fucked if we have these lockdowns. Those people, the people shaming the people who were saying that, are the same people running the fucking protests. And they'll be throwing that up on their social medias going 300,000 strong. And these protests are because of the US as well, George Floyd. That's what the protests are about in Australia. Australia has some pretty serious fucking racial divides ourselves with the Aboriginals, with the First Nations people. Honestly, no one gives a fuck about that. They're trying to crowbar that into the protest now. But truly, honestly, I don't think they give a fuck. They don't. I might go down and see what the scene's like at this protest on Friday. I know what it's going to be like. It's going to be the same as Occupy Wall Street. We had an Occupy in Australia and it was the weakest, most fucking spineless thing you've ever seen in your entire life. It was mainly just jugglers and hula hoopers. Besides comedian and podcaster, is there anything more useless than a fucking juggler and a hula hooper? I can't think of any. I'm actually going to go down to that fucking protest now. It will give me something to fucking talk about on Saturday anyway. Alright, that's it. It's me done for tonight. Subscribe to the podcast if you're enjoying it. Share it with your friends. I put that white privilege ceremony up on my Facebook and my Twitter, so go check it out. My social media is @BoyleComedy, and that's it. I'll see you the fuck later.